12 most dangerous cities in the U.S. Even though the United States is far from being one of the most dangerous countries, this nation has dangerous cities. Whether you're moving, traveling, or just curious, it can be helpful to know which American cities are dangerous and protect yourself. In this video, we will learn about the top 12 most dangerous cities in America, so keep watching to learn more. Number 12 is Anchorage, Alaska. The total crime in Anchorage, Alaska is 121% higher than the national average. The violent crime rate alone is 228% higher than the national average. Anchorage, though fairly wealthy, has some of the highest crime rates in the country. Many attribute the high crime rate to the feeling of being out in the wilderness. Anchorage feels untouchable compared to less rural cities. Because of the feeling of wildness, Anchorage sees high rates of crime. Violent crime rates in Anchorage are 1,245 violent crimes per 100,000 people. Anchorage has one of the highest rates of rape in the country, with 116 rapes for 100,000 people. Those who could become victims should stay constantly aware of their surroundings and carry personal protection, such as a personal alarm and pepper spray. Number 11. Camden, New Jersey. Violent crime rate in Camden is 1,582 violent crimes per 100,000 people. The city with a low economic status in the U.S., you will likely get mugged or shot for as low as $5 in Camden. The city was known for being a working-class area with street markets and pubs open at ungodly hours until gangs and drugs dealers started thronging it. Unsurprisingly, it has a violent crime rate of 16 per 1,000 residents. So if you live, study, or vacation here, your chance of being a victim of violent crime in this city is 1 in 61. Not to scare you, but you're better off avoiding strangers or being in vulnerable situations that can cost your life. Number 10 is Kansas City, Missouri. By 2022, Kansas City is the 15th most dangerous city in the nation. Although 15th place isn't great news, it is good in comparison to past years. In the past, Kansas City was ranked in the top 10 more than once, thanks to the likes of Pretty Boy Floyd. Violent crime rate in Kansas City: 1,585.9 violent crimes per 100,000 people. Nevertheless, homicide is still at a huge high in Kansas City in 2021, and it has been the second worst year for homicides in the city, second only to 2020. At least crime as a whole is decreasing. Number 9. Wilmington, Delaware. When most people imagine crime, Delaware is not one of the top states that come to mind. Regardless of that fact, Wilmington is one of the most dangerous cities in the nation. The rate of crime in Wilmington is about 41 out of 1,000 residents. Violent crime rate in Wilmington: 1,590.6 violent crimes per 100,000 people. Wilmington's violent crime is about 80.1, with the U.S. average being 22.7. As for property crime, the Wilmington rate is 68.7, with the national average being 35.4. Number 8. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Most of the dangerous cities we've looked at are relatively small, with the exception of Detroit and Memphis. Milwaukee is another big city that has some pretty shocking crime statistics. Violent crime rate in Milwaukee is 1,596.8 violent crimes per 100,000 people. The violent crime rate in Milwaukee is almost 5 times higher than the state average. Similarly, it is a little over 4 times higher than the national average. Interestingly, the Milwaukee property crime is only about 2 times higher than the state average and 1 time higher than the national average. Number 7 is Cleveland, Ohio. Over the last few years, Cleveland has been a pretty steady decrease in inhabitants. The relatively high crime rate might be to blame. Violent crime rate in Cleveland: 1,656.7 violent crimes per 100,000 people. Cleveland has had a long history of crime that dates back all the way to some of its first settlers. Today, your chance of being made the victim of a violent crime is about 1 in 59 in Cleveland, whereas the chance of being made the victim of a property crime is about 1 in 24. Number 6 is Baltimore, Maryland. Baltimore's violent crime rate is 390% higher than the national average, securing the city as the most dangerous city in the United States. The area has a population of 602,495 people, and residents have a 1 in 17 chance of becoming a victim of crime. Violent crime rate in Baltimore: 1,855 violent crimes per 100,000 people. The most common crime in Baltimore is theft, with 16,395 reported thefts per year. The second most common crime is burglary, with 5,414 burglaries per year. Both violent crime and property crime are common in Baltimore. Residents should use local crime maps to determine which areas are safe and which are dangerous. Number 5, Little Rock, Arkansas. The crime rate in Little Rock is much higher than the national average. Shockingly, Little Rock's crime rates are about 186% higher than the nation's average. Violent crime specifically is 377% higher. Violent crime rates in Little Rock are 1,084.9 violent crimes per 100,000 people. Still, you're much more likely to become the victim of property crime than a violent crime in Little Rock. This is the same no matter where you are in the country. Number 4 is Birmingham, Alabama. Birmingham, Alabama has a population of 209,808 people as of the 2018 census. The area has an extremely high homicide rate, with 29 murders per 100,000 people, nearly 6 times higher than the national average. Violent crime rate in Birmingham: 1,933 violent crimes per 100,000 people. Birmingham is not a safe place to live. However, not every street has high rates of crime. When living in Birmingham, it's important to stay aware of your surroundings and know which areas are safe and which are unsafe. Number 3 is St. Louis, Missouri. St. Louis is consistently ranked as one of the more dangerous cities in the country. However, the number of violent crimes in St. Louis has consistently been decreasing over the years, especially since the local government started the Downtown Safety Initiative. Crime in St. Louis has decreased slowly, but surely. Violent crime rate in St. Louis is 2,016.3 violent crimes per 100,000 people. Today, your chances of being the victim of a violent crime in St. Louis is 1 in 50. In comparison, the chances of being made the victim of a property crime are 1 in 17. Number 2 is Detroit, Michigan. In comparison to Monroe, Detroit is a much more known city. For years, Detroit has been one of the most violent cities in the nation. As a result, there has been a lot of effort to make Detroit safer over the years, but the effort has not been successful yet. The violent crime rate in Detroit is 2,178.5 violent crimes per 100,000 people. Hopefully, safety efforts will become effective and make Detroit a safer city to live in during a future period. And number 1 is Memphis, Tennessee. The only other city that comes close to beating out Monroe for the title of most dangerous city is Memphis. Unfortunately, Memphis and Monroe are typically neck and neck in terms of crime. Violent crime rates in Memphis are 2,350 violent crimes per 100,000 people. Like Monroe, Memphis has been one of the more dangerous cities for a while. Over the last 5 years, crime has been increasing dramatically. Today, there is a 1 in 41 chance of being a victim of a violent crime in Memphis. Likewise, there's a 1 in 17 chance of being a victim of a property crime. As we've learned, there are some cities in the United States that are not very safe. St. Louis, Memphis, and Detroit are often neck and neck as being the most dangerous cities. Because of the crime rate in these cities, it's important that you're safe when out on the town. By practicing smart decisions, you will decrease the chances of being made the victim of a crime. Regardless, be safe and take care of yourself.